Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unravel the secrets hidden in plain sight within corporate filings. Today we're peeking behind the curtain at KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated and their latest big announcement. Stick around because what we found might just surprise you. Alright, so KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated, or CREF as they are known by their stock ticker, has just dropped some important news related to their financial performance. This isn't a super long report, but it gives us a snapshot of their operations. Basically, on the 21st of October 2025, the company put out an update about how they did financially for the quarter that ended on the 30th of September of the same year. Think of it like a mid-year checkup for their business health. Now, CREF isn't just about one type of stock. They have their common stock, which is what most people think of when they hear the company name, but they also have this preferred stock. This series of cumulative redeemable preferred stock, with its own ticker CREF PRA, is a different kind of investment. It pays a fixed dividend of 6.50%, and it is considered redeemable, meaning the company can buy it back. This filing specifically mentions both their common stock and this preferred stock. The big news here comes from their earnings release and some supplemental financial information. These are essentially the official reports they're putting out to tell everyone how they're doing. They've included these with their filing, and it is where we'll find the juicy details about their financial condition and what investors can expect. Now, a quick note on how this information is presented. The company is telling us this report is being furnished, not filed in a way that carries the same legal weight for certain parts of securities law. What this means in simple terms is that while they are sharing this information and expecting it to be accurate, they're not opening themselves up to quite the same level of legal scrutiny as if it were a full, formally filed report. It is a common practice for earnings releases. Like most company reports, this one is full of what they call forward-looking statements. These are basically educated guesses or predictions about the future based on what they know right now. They're saying things like, "we expect this," or "we believe that." The important takeaway here is that these are not guarantees. They're based on current information and beliefs, but things can change. The company is also being upfront that they don't have a legal obligation to update these statements unless the law requires them to. This is really important for investors to understand. What they say today might not reflect the reality a year from now, and it is up to us to keep an eye on their other filings to see how those predictions hold up. So, what is really in this filing that matters to us? Well, the heart of it lies in the exhibits, specifically Exhibit 99.1, the earnings release itself, and Exhibit 99.2, the supplemental financial information. These are the documents where CREF lays out their numbers for the quarter ending the 30th of September 2025. Unfortunately, the actual financial tables are not embedded within this text-based document in a way that I can directly analyze or scroll to. However, we know these types of reports typically include key performance indicators, revenue figures, expenses, and profit margins. We'd be looking for what is called net income, or earnings per share, or EPEVs as a primary indicator of profitability. We'd also be interested in balance sheet items like assets and liabilities, and cash flow statements to see how the company is generating and using its cash. Without those specific numbers directly available here, it is tough to give you concrete figures like a 20% drop in revenue, meaning losing 1 in 5 customers. However, the fact they are issuing an earnings release and supplemental financial information implies they are trying to communicate good news, or at least manage expectations around their performance. And finally, the report is signed off by Kelly Galligan, who holds the title of General Counsel and Secretary. This is the official stamp of approval from the company's leadership, indicating these are the official statements made on behalf of KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated. Now, let's talk about what this all means. KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated is an entity focused on commercial real estate debt investments. Their business is directly tied to the health of the real estate market and interest rate environments. When earnings releases like this come out, especially near the end of a quarter, they are crucial for understanding how well the company is navigating these complex markets. The fact that they are providing both an earnings release and supplemental financial information suggests they want to give investors a clearer picture than perhaps a standard regulatory filing might offer. For investors, this is a chance to see if the company's strategy of investing in real estate debt is paying off. Are they making smart loans? Are they collecting their interest payments effectively? And crucially, are their properties performing well enough to support their debt structure? We'll need to look at those full exhibits once they're available to get the real meat of the financial story, but understanding the context of CREF's business commercial real estate lending is key. They are sensitive to economic cycles, property valuations, and the cost of borrowing money. If interest rates have been rising, as they have in recent times, it can make it more expensive for CREF to fund its operations and potentially harder for its borrowers to repay their loans. Conversely, A stable or falling rate environment can be beneficial. What we can infer is that KKR is actively managing its disclosures and wants shareholders to be informed. The inclusion of forward-looking statements is a standard but vital part of these reports. It tells us that the company is looking ahead and planning, but it also serves as a disclaimer. We should always take these projections with a grain of salt and focus on the actual historical financial data presented in the exhibits to form our own conclusions. Overall, this filing is a positive sign of transparency from KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated. It signals that they are proactively communicating their financial results. However, without the specific numbers from the earnings release and supplemental financial information, it is impossible to give a concrete analysis of their performance. We'll need to see those exhibits to determine if KKR is on solid ground or facing headwinds. The real story will be in the details of their revenue, expenses, and profitability for the past quarter. Alright, that is our initial look at the KKR Real Estate Finance Trust Incorporated filing. What is your take on the importance of these earnings releases and forward-looking statements? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown was helpful in navigating corporate disclosures, please hit that like button and subscribe for more insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description for more in-depth discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on Corporate Decoder.